Thank you for joining us. Quick one, with regards to, as a first-hand observer, with regards to how the team was treated on site, what do you have to make of it?
Look, the treatment was never going to be a nice treatment. Somehow Ahly would make sure that there's some instability within the team to create that atmosphere that you are a team coming from South Africa, you are playing away, and we are in charge. And the treatment was not the most perfect one. I mean, I remember speaking to Thandi Marafe, who was the media liaison officer there, and she was telling us that when I asked her the first time, what time are they training? What time is the team training? And she said to me, she does not know when the team is training because they still need to be told where they'll be training, when they'll be training. And I mean, that was on the day they arrived. I mean, that should have been planned before they even traveled, that when you arrive, you're going to go to a hotel. From there, you'll move to where you'll be training at a set time, yes, from this time until that time. And she didn't know. But eventually, they got a message, the message from around 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, that they'll be training at 5 o'clock at the Air Defence Sports Center. We went there. And when I asked her that the following day, what time are they training? She said she doesn't know.
They still did not know.
She didn't know because now Ahly were communicating in bits and pieces. So I mean, in that regard, I mean, the team was not treated. It was the most perfect treatment. But again, I remember speaking to her again. She was saying that the hotel that they were booked in, it was not. It was not what they expected. To them it was degrading. It was not ideal for the team. But they soldiered on. They stayed there until the end. And I mean, yeah. So I mean, talking about the practice sessions and so on, when is it that they actually got to get to the match ground itself? The match ground, they went there. It's normal. You have each team has to have an opportunity to train at the match ground, and that was the day before the match, and it was at 6 o'clock. It was purposely at 6 o'clock on the time exactly when the match was going to start the following day. So they trained there. I know Coach Roger Tisa was not happy with the pitch, with the state of the pitch, and I remember I didn't go to that training session because I was still packaging for our bulletins here at SABC. And when the other journalists came, who were staying with, and I asked them, I just need to know, how the training went and the pitch, and they, well, I don't know whether they were exaggerating, but I mean, they were saying, the state of the pitch is not the best.
Well, it didn't look the best, even on television, And one of the things that I actually wanted to touch on a bit as well was with regards to some of the intimidating. When we were watching on TV, we saw a lot of green lights flashing on the ball, green lights flashing on the players' faces. What is that about? I mean, is that people in the crowd with lasers? It is a laser, and that laser. I mean, even one laser on your face, it's really irritating. And then you could see, I remember in Tunisia when the team was playing against Esperance, you could see on Senzo Mewa, the goalkeeper, Orlando Pirates goalkeeper, you see lasers there about 3 or 4. This time around, it was about 15 and 20 and so forth, and that disturbed the players. I mean, it had an effect on their free kicks, on their corner kicks. It had an effect on if they were attacking and near to score. It would disturb you somehow. Surely CAF is going to look into this.
But I mean, it has been happening for years, and they've never looked into it. So we don't know whether they will look to it this time around because it was really bad, or it will be something that they will leave and to continue. Because
we've got WADA in town right now, and recently we had the I Play Fair Sports Conference happening in Cape Town, legal minds from all over the world in sports convening to talk about match fixing, bribery, and cheating in sports, as well as teams' behaviours. Surely, would you think that this is something that these bodies could look into? They need to look into it. I mean, it's really not fair. There's no fair play in that. It means that the other team has a 12 men on the ground, so it interferes with pay. I mean, what was potentially a great game, it was spoiled by the lasers, to be honest. I mean, even if Pirates had lost, but I mean, that also contributed to the outcome of the result. And Lebo, just quickly to wrap up, when you arrived back at OR Tambo, what was the atmosphere like? We arrived back immediately with the team, but the team went out in another exit, and we went out with a normal exit. So I couldn't see exactly what was happening. But there was some people who were still inside the airport, and they were saying that, I mean, there was a lot of festivities, people chanting and singing, waiting in anticipation for the team, and eventually they were directed to where the team was going to then meet their fans. So I guess the atmosphere and the vibe there was great. Well, thank you so much, Lebo. That was Lebo, our SABC reporter, joining us, giving us the inside track on the Pirates players' experiences in Cairo.